Google Cloud Platform Certification Overview. In this nugget, we're going to get familiar with all the different GCP exams and their requirements. We'll talk about the registration and scheduling process, and I'll give you some exam and study tips so you can become Google certified. I'll also show you how you can acquire 5 complimentary GCP exam vouchers for use any way you like across all of the GCP exams. Let's begin. So you want to become Google Cloud Platform qualified. Well, each major product in the Google Cloud Platform comes with its own qualification exam. Pass any one of these exams and you will get the Google Qualified Developer credential for that product. Pass all 5 of these exams and you'll get the Google Cloud Platform Qualified Developer credential. The requirements and what's covered in each exam are listed here. I'll give you the URL for this. You can go to the page yourself and check out these topics in detail. But what it boils down to is you'll need to understand the basics for each one of these products. And then, of course, product-specific things as well. Like for App Engine, you'll need to know how to architect and optimize your App Engine app, how to configure and manage them, OAuth 2, everything that's associated with the data store, Memcache, task queues, and cron jobs. For cloud storage, you'll need to know how to integrate it with App Engine, how to do backup and archive and security. For Cloud SQL, you'll need to understand how to administer your Cloud SQL instances, interoperate externally and internally in the Google Cloud Platform, and then some product specs. For BigQuery, you'll need to know the basics of BigQuery, developer side of BigQuery, writing SQL queries, and some of the advanced side of BigQuery. And Compute Engine, you'll need to know how to work with all the different resources and bring them together to build an infrastructure. Now, as far as what's involved with the exams and their structure and the requirements, they're administered via a web browser. What that means is you can take them anywhere. As long as you have a camera-enabled PC or laptop, you can take them anywhere. At home, at work, in your bed, in the shower, although probably we don't want to take them in the shower because they are proctored. Someone will be watching you. So, okay, scratch that one off the list. But you can take them in your underwear, which is nice because, you got to be comfortable when you take these exams. They're multiple choice. Some questions will have a single answer, some questions may have multiple answers, but the fact is they're multiple choice. You don't have to type in answers any way, shape, or form. They're timed. All of them are 90 minutes except Cloud SQL. So go in prepared knowing that they're timed and have a backup plan in case you get stuck on a question. You don't want to spend too much time on a question. You can mark them and move on and answer those ones that you're more unsure of towards the end of the exam. Along with being taken home, they are open web, and this is huge. This means you have the entire internet at your disposal. So if you don't know the answer to a question, Google it. And it's going to become very useful for those specific questions that are asking you for versions. What version of Java does App Engine require? Those kind of things that you're just not going to memorize. And in the real world, if you need to know that, you'd Google it. So Google's very open to researching for answers. That's how we learn, right? Just be careful, though, here, because you can get lost in the internet and time could run out on you. So even though they're open web, you just got to be careful and use your time wisely. All of the exams are proctored, meaning somebody's going to be watching you, and that's why you need a camera-enabled PC or a laptop. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why? I can already cheat using the internet. Why do they need to watch me? And the answer there is they just want to make sure that there's no outside communication. So nobody's going to be helping you that have already taken the exam. Nobody's going to be sitting next to you or, chatting you with instant messaging. So that kind of thing. So that's the only reason. I just want to make sure that you're not getting any help. The only help that you need is the internet, the docs, and what's in your mind, what you already know. And also the results are delivered immediately. So as soon as you're done with the test, you will get an email letting you know how you did on each section and your overall score and if you passed or failed. And if you did pass, you'll also get a nice certificate delivered into your inbox. In order to pass the exams, you need at least 50% or better score in each section and a 75% or better overall. If you do fail the exam, and you're not going to fail the exam, but if some unforeseen circumstance occurs, like the power goes out, your internet goes down, or the test crashes, then it's going to get marked as a failure, and you'll have to go through this waiting period before you can take it again. The first waiting period is 14 days, the second one is 60 days, and the third one is 1 year. Now, in order to register and schedule your exam, you're going to need to do 2 things. Number 1 is purchase the exams through webassessor.com, and the second one is scheduling or setting up a time with the online proctor to actually take the exam. The first step has you head over to webassessor.com/Google Cloud. You'll create an account, log in, and then it's a shopping cart system. So you'll add exams into your shopping cart. Each exam is $100 US. You can also, if you have any vouchers, you can apply them at checkout. But just keep in mind, only one voucher may be applied at a time. So if you're going to take multiple exams, you'll do this process, multiple times. So put one exam in the shopping cart, apply the voucher, check out. Put another exam in the shopping cart, apply the voucher, check out, so on and so forth. Once you've purchased the exam or exams, then you'll head over to onlineproctoring.com/Google Cloud/index.htm. Notice the lack of L there. For whatever reason, .html doesn't work, so go to HTML. But here you'll create an account. You'll choose Google Cloud Platform for your institution. Then it's just a matter of setting up a time that works for you. Their proctors are available 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. Just remember that you cannot communicate with anybody during the exam. The proctors are going to use your camera-enabled Mac or PC to watch you, and they'll ask for identification right away. Once you prove that you are who you are, they'll launch the exam for you, and you'll be on your way. And keep in mind that you can ask questions at any time for these people, both verbally and via chat. And they're really nice people. I had a great experience. I took all 5 exams in one day, which I would definitely not recommend because it's mind-numbing towards the end of the day after 8 hours of exam taking. But they're there for your needs. So in between exams, if you have to use the restroom or go eat lunch or get a drink or whatever, they're totally cool with that. But I would definitely advise to dress comfortably no matter what you're doing because they don't care what you're wearing. I literally did wear my pajamas, and it just lightened the atmosphere right off the bat. The guy started laughing. He's like, hey, you're in your pajamas. I'm like, well, you know, I'm here all day, and I've got to be comfortable. So, yeah. But certainly wear clothes. Just make sure that they're comfortable. Just a couple of exam tips. Number 1, probably one of the more important ones here, is that exam questions are language agnostic. So you don't need to know the syntax of a specific language. They won't be asking any of those questions. So as long as you know the basics of development here in Google's Cloud, you'll be in good shape. Schedule your exams ASAP because slots do fill up, and just note that weekend times are available. If you are taking multiple exams, spread them out across days. It's tough to take, 4 to 8 hours of exams in a day. Take it from me. It's not easy. You're so drained by that last exam, you're just like, next. Oh, I hope that one's right, next. So, yeah, spread them out. And try not to spend too much time on a single question simply because they are timed. You can mark them, so you'll definitely want to use that to your advantage. If you feel like you're spending too much time on a question, mark it and come back to it. And that way it'll ensure that you finished the exam, especially if you're starting to run out of time and you know those last 10 questions, 8 of them are probably going to be easy. You don't want to miss the easy ones. So keep your eye on the clock and don't spend a lot of time on a single question. And don't forget, open web means open web, so utilize the Google to help you answer these questions. And what I like to do is before the exam even start, have a browser open, fire open a couple of tabs, have one tab dedicated to the docs for the exam that you're taking, have another one dedicated to the frequently asked questions for that product, have one open for things like specs and pricing, and have one open just for Google, just so you can ask the internet anything that you need if you're totally unsure of a question or can't find the answer in the documentation. Also, it doesn't hurt to help Google out. At the end of every exam, you'll get a feedback form. Fill it out. They do listen. So if there's anything you didn't like about the process or you'd like to see changed when it comes to the exams or really any part of the experience, make sure you send them your feedback. And the best tip I can possibly give you is to pass. Pass that exam. You'll get a nice certificate delivered right to your inbox as soon as that exam is done that you can print out, hang on your wall, add it to your resume to show the world that you are Google Cloud Platform certified. Having these skills in your toolbox and these credentials on your resume is going to make you very marketable. Why? Because it's all about the cloud. And the cloud's still young. That's all we're going to hear about the next 5 to 10 years is everything and everyone moves to the cloud is cloud, 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 cloud. And having Google credentials on your resume makes it even better. Now, something really cool we're going to give you for watching our GCP courses here at CBT Nuggets is 5 complimentary exam vouchers. And it's very easy to acquire them. Just watch 50% of any of our GCP courses, and that will give you 5 exam vouchers that you can use any way you like. Once you hit that requirement and watch 50% of any of our Google Cloud Platform courses, you will unlock this little sidebar here that says Google Exam Vouchers as the title, which will have 5 voucher codes along with expiration dates associated with them. So you can access this area here on the main course page or on the player page. So watch 50% of any one of our exams and you'll have access to these 5 exam codes. And as I mentioned, you can use these any way you like across any number of GCP exams. So if you're having trouble with one exam, which we know you won't, then you can use all 5 codes to take that one exam 5 different times. Or you can use 1 code per exam if you want to take all 5 exams. And you apply them at the checkout. So when you go through the checkout process, you'll have this little exam voucher code field. Just enter that code that you see in the sidebar at any one of those 5 codes, hit submit, and it'll zero the price out, and you'll get a free exam shot for whatever GCP exam you're taking. Pretty awesome, right? These exams are $100 a pop, so that's $500 in free exam attempts. In this CBT Nugget, we covered the Google Cloud Platform Qualified Developer Exam Taking process. Took you through the requirements, what to expect, and the registration and scheduling process. With that, I wish you the very best of luck in your Google Cloud Platform journeys. I hope that this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.